Have you ever noticed how the world becomes quiet at night, but your mind does the opposite? The lights are off, the phone is face down. Yet your thoughts feel louder than ever. Old conversations replay again and again. Things you wish you had said. Moments you wish you could undo. People you wish you could forget. And no matter how tired your body feels, your mind just refuses to let go. If that feels familiar, you're not alone. Overthinking isn't simply thinking too much. It's your mind trying to protect you, but doing it in the wrong way. Your brain believes that if it keeps replaying the past, if it keeps analyzing every detail, it might finally prevent the pain from happening again. But instead of safety, it gives you exhaustion. Instead of clarity, it gives you confusion. And slowly, it steals your peace. Here's something most people don't realize. Your mind does not know the difference between useful thinking and self-punishment. So it keeps asking the same questions on repeat. Why did this happen to me? What if I had acted differently? What if I made the wrong choice? And the more you try to force these thoughts away, the stronger they seem to become. Because resistance feeds overthinking. The truth is, letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending that something didn't hurt. And it definitely does not mean approving of what happened. Letting go simply means this. You stop demanding a different past. You stop asking yesterday to give you answers. It was never capable of giving. And that's where real freedom begins. Imagine you're holding a heavy rope. On the other end of that rope is a moment from your past. The harder you pull, the more tension you feel in your chest, in your shoulders, in your mind. But here's the truth. That moment is not pulling back. You are. Letting go isn't about cutting the rope in anger. It's about gently opening your hand and realizing you don't need to hold it anymore. Most people don't overthink because they're weak. They overthink because they cared deeply. They cared about people. They cared about outcomes. They cared about doing the right thing. But somewhere along the way, care slowly turned into control. And control quietly turned into suffering. You weren't broken. You were just holding on for too long. Here's the shift that changes everything. You don't need to solve every thought. You need to outgrow some of them. Some questions don't need answers. They need distance. And distance comes from presence. When you return fully to this moment, the past loses its grip. Not because it disappears, but because it no longer defines who you are. Ask yourself this gently. How much of your energy is being spent on something that no longer exists? And once you see that clearly, you'll realize something powerful. You still have a choice. Starting now, in the next part, we'll talk about why letting go feels so painful, what your mind is actually afraid of, and how to stop overthinking without forcing yourself to stay positive. For now, take a slow breath. You don't have to fix your entire life tonight. You just have to loosen your grip. A little. Letting go feels painful for one simple reason. Your mind believes that holding on keeps you safe. It tells you that if you replay the past enough times, if you analyze every detail, if you stay alert and prepared, you'll never be hurt like that again. But what it doesn't realize is that this constant vigilance is slowly exhausting you. Overthinking is not wisdom. It's fear wearing the mask of intelligence. Your mind is afraid that if you let go, something bad will happen, that you'll forget an important lesson, that you'll repeat the same mistake, that the pain will come back stronger. So it keeps you stuck in rehearsal mode, always preparing, never resting. But here's the truth your mind needs to hear. You don't heal by staying tense. You heal by feeling safe again. And safety doesn't come from control. It comes from acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean you liked what happened. It means you stop fighting reality. Because every time you argue with the past wins, not by being powerful, but by occupying your attention. The moment you stop arguing, its grip begins to loosen. There is a simple practice that helps with this. When a painful thought appears, don't ask why it's there. Don't analyze it. Don't try to push it away. Instead, quietly say to yourself, I notice this thought. That's it. Not this thought is true. Not this thought is dangerous. Just I notice this thought. That small shift creates space. And space weakens overthinking. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. Think of your thoughts like passing clouds. Some are dark. Some are heavy. Some move slowly. But none of them are the sky. The sky doesn't chase clouds. It doesn't fight them. It doesn't panic when they appear. It simply allows them to pass. When you stop fighting your thoughts, they lose their urgency. They stop shouting. They stop demanding answers. And slowly, silence returns. Another reason letting go feels hard is because we confuse pain with identity. We start saying things like, I'm the person who was betrayed. I'm the person who failed. I'm the person who lost everything. And when pain becomes identity, letting go feels like losing yourself. But here's the truth. You are not the worst thing that happened to you. That moment was an experience, not a definition. You don't honor your pain by replaying it. You honor it by growing beyond it. Growth doesn't mean forgetting. It means carrying the lesson, not the weight. One helpful question to ask yourself is this. Is this thought helping me right now? Or is it hurting me? If it's hurting you, you are allowed to put it down. Even if it feels unfinished. Even if it feels unresolved. Peace does not require closure. It requires courage. The courage to stop reopening wounds. Just to prove that they still hurt. Letting go is not a dramatic moment. It's a quiet decision you make again and again. Every time your mind pulls you back, you gently return to now. To your breath. To the room around you. To the life that's still happening. And with practice, overthinking loses its power. Not because you defeated it, but because you no longer feed it. You don't have to rush this process. Healing moves at its own pace. Be patient with yourself. You're learning how to feel safe again. And one day, you'll notice something beautiful. The thoughts that once controlled you will still appear, but they won't stay. They'll pass, like clouds in an open sky. And you'll finally feel lighter.